so much for coming and supporting this first staged reading of Dear Uncle Harpo. I'm sure that most of you know what you're in for. So what we'll do is we'll have the first act. The first act is 40 minutes. We'll take a little 10-minute break, and the second act is an hour. I know that's backwards. that is just the way it happened. And immediately after the play, these guys will bow. You guys should bow, by the way. We didn't mention that. They'll do their bows, and then they'll sit right back down in those chairs, and we'll have a talk back. And we're really looking for feedback on the play. It'll be easy to dive into a political conversation. I want to be careful about going too far into that political conversation, but I do want to talk about how the play worked for you, if there is a place for this kind of play in theater and dealing with politics, etc. So, again, thank you so much for coming. I want to end with this. Should put my glasses on. On June 14th, Minnesota State Representative Melissa Portman and her husband, Mark, were killed in a shooting at their home. Additionally, Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, Yvette, were shot and wounded in separate incidents that morning. I'd like to dedicate this play, this reading to them. Dear Uncle Harpo, a new play by Steve Duprey. Characters: John Bender, 64, hippie, retired from a long life of many varied occupations, including Tai Chi master, writer, part-time philosopher, and clerk at both a health food store and an independent bookstore, complete with long gray ponytail and Birkenstocks, maybe even a tie-dye t-shirt. Tammy, 64, his longtime partner, retired now, but spent 40 years as a public school teacher. For practicality, balances John's free-spirited personality. Marty Smart, 68, John's oldest friend, fairly privileged middle-class man, retired and now greeting at Walmart. Janice Smart, Marty's wife and Tammy's best friend, privileged middle-class woman, not snooty, just comfortable. Chester, 70, a grizzled and staunch conservative. Harpo Baruti, 75, Tammy's uncle from Memphis, an immigrant from Lebanon. She keeps in close contact with him every day. Voice, male or female, ominous yet calm. Time, the not too distant future. Place, a small upstate New York City. Tammy and John have lived modestly together for 43 years. Theirs is a common law marriage. It's not official. They have no paperwork. They come from a generation that felt that kind of formality completely took the danger and spontaneity out of the relationship. They have no children and no official ties to each other whatsoever. Over the years, they've split up and gotten back together several times, always finding that they're better suited to each other than to anyone else. They're liberal activists from the old school. They protested war and injustice as they held their parents' hands. Peace, love, and weed was, and still is, their mantra. It all seems ideal until a knock at the door changes everything. Act 1, Scene 1. Lights up on the casual living space of Tammy and John. It resembles a teenager's bedroom from the 1970s. Beanbag chairs, an indoor hammock, concert posters from the Grateful Dead and Simon and Garfunkel, the obligatory Che Guevara poster, and as much liberal, radical signage and literature as you can find. But it isn't used, stored in various corners of the room like relics of a past life. It's early morning. Like most other older couples, they're early risers. Sunlight streams in through the window. Tammy sits at the kitchen table with a mug of coffee, typing on her laptop.
Dear Uncle Harpo. Oh, God. I still can't believe they named you that. I giggle every time I write it. Anyway, classes are out and it's a bit different for me this year. After 40 years teaching the English language to high schoolers who, by the way, already spoke it, I'm retired. I'm not going back in September. I've cleaned out my desk in my room, in my closet, and I said, that's the last time I'll have to teach that about 1,000 times. Feels wonderful and scary all at the same time. I'll tell you what I'm most worried about. It's the fact that school has been kind of a buffer between me and...
John enters in a short bathrobe. He's obviously just woken up. She stops typing and closes the laptop slightly.
Gearan.
Morning. Coffee?
Of course. Already made.
Anything good?
In the paper.
Yeah.
Not for about 40 years.
Yeah, but what's today's disaster?
Pick one. We got protesters at Florida State University.
Ours or theirs?
Looks like both. The university wants to ban any discussion of personal finance. Calls it an invasion of privacy that any student should take offense to.
Shouldn't that be to which any student should take offense?
John, any consideration of grammar went out with glow-in-the-dark speakers and pet rocks.
Right. What set it off?
Well, in a clash with Associate Dean of Economics Milton Freshour, student Mitzi Pullen claims that the dean confiscated her phone because she was assisting another student with a personal finance ad.
You mean they're talking about students discussing finances with each other?
There's more. When Pullen objected, Dean Freshour claimed that the sharing of personal financial information, even with another student, violated the recently enacted law protecting financial information from public dissemination.
Yeah, wasn't that just meant to protect public figures who might get slapped around if people knew how much money they made?
Of course it was. Written by the richest people in the world. You know, the ones who need protecting.
Yeah, so this is a huge overreach of the university in order to control another piece of our speech.
Or Tuesday, as I like to call it.
Right. So what do we do about it?
John, you can't take on every article in the newspaper. I thought we retired from that years ago.
Tammy, we retired so that we could do this full time, remember? Whatever happened to that?
Life, remember?
Right. How many protesters?
About 20 on the university side. 300 on the student side.
In Florida?
I know. Seems out of whack, doesn't it?
Could it be that Florida students are getting a minds of their own?
That doesn't seem very likely, does it? Maybe it's a TikTok challenge, you know. Stand up for your rights in a collegiate setting.
That could be. I can't imagine that very many of them have financial information to disclose. All right, what else you got?
I've got, another politician beaten to a pulp.
Damn. What's that? No, you wouldn't.
You're probably right. But I wouldn't have been stupid enough to get myself beat up in the first place.
God help those two old women if it had been you.
Agreed. Oh, there was one more thing that caught my eye. The mega billion is up to 3.5.
Here's a 50. You want to throw it down the toilet, or shall I?
Oh, come on. You can't win if you don't play.
And when have I ever played?
Never. You never take any chances.
Right. I never take chances. Oh, I'm Mr. Stability. Welcome to worship me in my mansion.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get the ticket. Just for you. Because I love you so much. And I'm willing to throw away this perfectly good $50 bill as a simple gesture of affection and compliance.
You were good right up to compliance.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm in the shower.
Enjoy.
John exits, and Tammy opens her laptop and continues reading the letter.
Suppose I'm kind of a buffer between me and John. I'm not quite sure how to navigate the amount of time we'll be spending together now that we're both retired. I know you and Midge managed it just fine, and I was always impressed with that. Any advice you might have would be greatly appreciated. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And send.
Lights fade on the scene. Scene 2. Later that afternoon, John and Marty are sitting on the couch playing a game of cribbage. Marty's counting up his points.
15, 2, 15, 4, 15, 6, 58, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's your classic 16-point hand.
Lovely.
Good for you.
Good enough.
Meet you there.
Dealing the cards.
What do you think? Is it normal?
Of course it's normal. You've had this buffer for what, 40 years? It's going to take some time to adjust.
She's so excited about the whole thing. I mean, we're not really going to notice it until September when she doesn't go back. But I know it's there. It's looming over everything. I feel like I'm going to lose my freedom, my sense of independence.
You will.
Thanks. That's very helpful.
No, I'm serious. Of course you lose that sense of independence. She's going to be there all the time, looking over your shoulder, wondering what you're going to do.
But
But what?
damn it, Marty. When you say something negative like that, it's usually followed by a positive. Like, you'll get to know each other even better and ascend to a higher plane of relational existence.
Sorry, I got nothing.
What the hell are we going to talk about? I've already ran out of things to say to her, and it's only been a week. All we talk about is the weather, or how much she's going to enjoy being home all the time.
I have a novel idea. I don't know if you've considered it, but here goes. Why don't you just talk to
And say what? Honey, I love you, but could you kind of not be around too much, so like about 4 in the afternoon, I don't want to have to change my schedule with yours.
her? Excellent.
How do you and Janice do it? It's been what, a year?
2. I retired 2 years ago. And where am I now? A Walmart career. My God, do you have any idea how much I didn't want to end up there?
And why do you do it?
Sure as hell isn't for the money. It's for the time away. Gives me something to do. Way to get out, see people. And it's time away from the house. Away from Janice, my God. Of course, we don't like each other very much, so it was an easy transition. But you guys are still madly in love after all this time.
Yeah,
relationships like yours through your Walmart greeter program.
I don't understand.
You think it's important that they're saying hello to everyone? Of course it isn't. People are coming there to buy something. No one's affected one way or the other by whether or not they're greeted when they walk in. No, it's kind of like an outreach program for the elderly. It gets husbands and wives out of the house for a few hours each day. It lowers the murder rates.
I don't think John would have any interest in that. He's pretty much convinced that Walmart is the evil overlord of the world bent on the takeover of mankind. I don't think he'll want to wear their blue vests and spout their silly greetings to the mindless consumer sheep who happen to wander in. Sorry, I'm just channeling John there.
Oh, I get it. But given a choice between evil overlord and murdering my husband, I'll take overlord almost every time. I can't spend any more time in jail. Not at my age.
Wait a minute. Almost?
Oh, you've never heard Marty snore.
Let's fade back to house interior.
I try to seem interested in her, ask her about her plans, but she just seems annoyed with me. I just don't get it.
They are hard to figure out. I stopped trying years ago. Why not try that?
I think I'll give her a bit more time before I throw in the towel.
That's just gonna make the rest of us look bad. You know that, right?
My goal has always been to make you look bad. And it hasn't been difficult at all. 15, 2, 4, 6, 8, 15, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's your standard 24-point hand. Yeah, you see how easy it is?
Lights out. Scene 3. John and Tammy sitting at the dining room table, eating dinner.
So, what did you do today?
Not much. I had a nice lunch with Janice.
How's she doing?
Oh, you know, the usual.
Like?
Trying to figure out what to do with Marty. He's driving her crazy.
Really? How so?
Well, he's always around. You know what I mean? Since he's retired, he's like omnipresent. It's really screwed up her routine around the house.
I thought he was a greeter at Walmart these days.
Yeah, but it's only part-time. It's not enough of a break for her.
It's funny, because Marty said the same thing about Dennis. He said he got the job so he had someplace to go during the day. He says he needed to get away from her.
Well, they really don't like each other much anyway.
True. Do you think that... I'm sorry, you go ahead.
No, you, please.
Okay. I was wondering, it occurred to me that, are you worried at all that that's going to happen to us?
What?
Marty and Janice.
Do I think that Marty and Janice are gonna happen to us?
You know what I mean. You think we're going to get on each other's nerves? It seems to me they were a lot happier before Marty retired.
That is true.
And I've noticed for the past couple of days that I've been irritating the shit out of you at every turn. Everything I say seems to get under your skin and hit you the wrong way. I've been walking on eggshells.
Oh, holy shit, no! No! You haven't been irritating me! Well, yes, you have been irritating me. But I don't think it's been your fault. I'm just worried about how we're gonna manage our time when I'm gonna be home 24/7.
could you possibly feel that way?
How could I not feel that way? It's what I've been for the past 40 years. You don't just switch that off. John, you've never had a steady career. You bounce from one thing to another. And don't get me wrong, I've always loved that about you. Jack of all trades, able to always land on feet. Never mind that I never made as much money.
Well, thanks for bringing that up again.
You know what I mean.
Yes, I do. And let me take this opportunity to once again thank you for supporting me all these years.
It's been my pleasure. And yes, I do recognize your sarcasm when I hear it. You've done plenty to support us. I'm sorry for bringing it up.
Okay. Forgiven. Now what are we going to do about this situation? I don't want to have to tiptoe around you for the next 20 or 30 years.
Although that would be fun to watch.
I'm sure you'd love that. Now how about some reasonable suggestions?
I don't know. You're the one with the brilliant and untamable intellect.
Right. I have an idea, but I'm not sure you're ready for it.
I'm ready for anything. I've got nothing to do with it. No place to go. Remember, no purpose.
Right, nonsense. Well, right. I think we seriously take on one of these cases.
Right. We haven't been activists in a long time, John. What do you expect to do? Make some posters and march on the university?
Yeah, we stopped being activists because life got in the way, and we had to pay bills and a mortgage and insurance. We're done with that now. Pension, Medicare, nothing but free time and aspirations. Come on, let's fix the world.
You're crazy. That's it. You're fucking crazy. We're heading towards 70 years old. I'll collapse from the heat. I won't be good to anybody.
You don't think you can save the world in air conditioning? Shit. We can organize the hell out of those college students from behind a desk. We can create a safe politician coalition so that aspiring liberals and conservatives, I suppose, can be safe as they try to get their message out. We can do all that and save our own asses at the same time. We'll be too busy to get in each other's way. Just wait and see.
I suppose you never really stopped being an activist, right? I've kept up on everything in the news, and well, you're obsessed with it. And things have gotten way worse in the past few years. Citizens United, voting rights, Roe being overturned, the goddamn Supreme Court from hell. Hell, if we had kids, they had fewer rights than we had when we were there.
And less power. You think I want to live in a world where I can't even discuss my financial situation with my neighbor? Certainly going to put a crimp in the financial planner industry. Where the hell does that leave our 401k and our pension fund? At the mercy of the corrupt government.
And I'll be damned if I'm going to tell my daughter that she has no control over her body, that a bunch of old white men have already made the decisions for her.
That's the woman I remember from all those marches.
You're damn right it is.
You don't even have a daughter.
I know!
Okay. Now I'm really getting worked up about this. I'm doing this. Are you coming along?
Of course I am. I'm coming along. I love you when you're passionate about shit.
Let's do this.
By this time, they've each picked up a liberal flag of some sort. Perhaps one has a pride flag and the other has a black power fist flag. Something like that. They strike a patriotic but rebellious pose as the lights fade. Scene 4. The next morning, Tammy sits with her coffee and her computer.
Dear Uncle Harpo, yesterday was a hell of a day. It went from, what the hell am I going to do with the rest of my life, to, oh my god, that's what I'm going to do the rest of my life. You know that John and I used to be in the rebellion business, right? Well, it looks like we're going to open a new branch right here in the house. Got a favorite cause? We may be able to take it on for you. So listen to John, you'd think he was going to take on every injustice in the world, from abortion to xenophobia. And I think he's got the energy for it. Not sure that I do. Anyway, still waiting for that advice about how to get along with a retired spouse. I see some real battles in our future.
John enters in his bathrobe, looking very tired.
Gotta go. Talk to you tomorrow.
Coffee.
What? No good morning.
Good morning. Coffee?
Yeah, already made. You look exhausted.
I didn't sleep more than 10 minutes at a time. I kept waking up with all these ideas. Take a look at this.
AIDS? Well, that's a good cause, but it's already being covered really well. Cancer? With what money, John? And I know that none of your degrees is in any kind of medicine. Abortion? Homelessness? The war in the Middle East? John, what are we going to do about the war in the Middle East?
Well, I've got some interesting ideas.
I bet you do. Next. Rationing. Free speech. The giant flying neurospider?
Yeah, Tammy. They fly. It's a goddamn spider that flies. You want to see something get weaponized faster than German shepherds? It's them. Just imagine those little fuckers sailing over town and dropping on unsuspecting enemies.
John, they're not poisonous to humans, and we are not their enemy.
Oh, you don't think they can breed that into them in a month or two? You just wait and see.
Honey, I think the lack of sleep and all that adrenaline has really got to you. Here's your coffee.
Okay, yeah. Maybe you're right. It just seems the more I let myself think about it, the worse it gets. Everything's screwed up. Nightly curfews, AI dogs roaming the streets looking for perpetrators of imagined crimes, not to mention the thought police.
John, you know there are no thought police. This isn't 1984.
Well, it might as well be. I'll see if you think we're going to be trying to take on any of these causes. There's no such thing as under the radar anymore. Once you say something, fucking Big Brother knows you've said it. How the hell are we going to make a difference with any of these if everything is completely and wholly visible to the world? Let's shut us down in a day.
Before you get yourself all depressed, maybe we should pick a cause and then figure out how to tackle it. Something might present itself.
Now that's the first sensible thing you've said all morning. So what do you like? Something boring like digging wells in Africa, or maybe something sexier like gun violence?
Do we have to start with something so big? What about the smaller causes that we might be able to influence without sticking our necks out quite so far? Something low profile and local might allow us to actually stay under the radar.
Like what?
This one right here. It's local-ish. It affects us directly, and we might be able to make things happen without alerting the thought police or getting under anyone's skin.
You want to protect local politicians? Babe, I put that on there almost as a joke.
Yeah, but it's doable. And it won't get our asses thrown in jail if nobody knows it's us arranging the whole thing.
And how do you plan on arranging the whole thing?
Citizen security guards. We get volunteers to pledge a certain amount of time to each candidate. Once they're in office, they get a security detail automatically. It's the candidates that we really have to worry about. Then we let the candidate know that they have people willing to protect them. All they have to do is notify the volunteer about their schedule and they'll be covered.
And you're willing to do this for candidates of both parties?
Of course, that's the whole point.
So this won't be an attempt to only protect Democrats? It's an attempt to protect the democratic process.
Exactly.
Interesting. And noble. And it's got the stink of bipartisanship. We might be able to reach across the aisle and make this happen.
Right. So, who do we know on the other side of the aisle?
There's a long and uncomfortable pause here as they try to think of anyone who might fit the bill.
Okay. There's this guy revolution this and Second Amendment that and Civil War's right around the corner, that kind of shit.
Yeah, I think I know the guy that you're talking about. Long bushy beard, crazy hair. He seems sincere.
Right, well, I've never heard him say a mean word about anyone. And he's always respectful to me, even though I'm pretty sure he knows I'm a flaming liberal.
How would he know that?
It was yesterday when I stopped to pick up a few things. I asked him his name and I talked to him. I guess you're gonna be all juiced up about reaching across the aisle now.
Cool.
So, when I asked him if we could talk for a bit, Chester said he'd be delighted. Just like that. I'd be delighted. Such an old world way to say it. It really put me at ease. So I asked him, let me see if I can remember exactly how I put it. Do you really think we're at the point of civil war? And do you think it will accomplish anything? John, I gotta tell you, he looked me right in the eye, like he'd known me my whole life, and he said, Missy, I've never gotten anything in my
Life
life
that I didn't fight for. Now, that may not be the way it happened for you, but that's the way it happened for me, and for most of the people I know who feel the way I feel. They're not just willing to fight, they're eager to fight, because it's the only thing they know. We're all smart enough to know that we can't win against an army. We're all smart enough to know that the endeavor is futile, but it's all we know. It's the only way we've ever gained anything in our lives. And right now, we have a leader who understands that. There's a crack in the wall, and we're ready to push through it. We've never been handed anything, and so the idea that we can have whatever this beautiful experiment is, without fighting for it, is foreign to us, because we've never been given anything. Never.
After a silence, the lights restored to Tammy and John.
What did you say?
Nothing. I just stood there, trying to understand that mindset, and then I realized that he was right. It is completely out of my experience. And in that moment, I began to understand the other side. I began to see that it's not just about stupid and brainwashed and cultish. There's another side to this that I've never been willing to look at. This guy is our guy, John. If we can get him on board, I think this candidate protection program could really take off. I think we should talk to him.
Is it safe? I mean, he's not going to start a war right here in our living room, is he?
I didn't get that sense, no. I'll ask him tomorrow if I see him. He looks homeless, but I don't think he is. Hell, he looks homeless most of the time.
These are my best jeans.
My point exactly.
Lights out. Scene 5. The dining room. John, Mari, Tammy, Janice, and Chester are sitting around the dining room table. Dessert is on the table, but an argument has broken out.
No, you don't understand. It's not a
But
question
that's
of...
exactly what it's a question of. How can you
If you
even...
give me a chance, I'll tell you
When I
exactly
was
how
a kid, it was always on the.
They didn't even have it when you were a kid.
If it's going to happen at all, it's going to be on the
This is
side.
a top-down issue. It's gotta be front and center.
Listen, you two, I don't care even a little bit about this topic. I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't have a dog in this fight. But if you ask me,
Yes.
the whipped cream goes on top of the ice cream, not on the side. All due respect to our guests, but what you're saying here is absurd.
Well, I suppose we have bigger things to fight about. Just put mine on the side if you don't mind.
Not at all.
So, let's talk about why you really invited me to dinner with these lovely people. I'm not really sure I'm your guy.
Why not? You seem perfect.
I don't organize. It's not my way. I stand on the street corner and talk to people, one at a time, those who are willing to listen. Like you the other day. What made you stop and ask me that question?
You seemed approachable. You didn't come off as a crazy street corner preacher or anything. If you had, I would have simply crossed the street and kept going.
And that's my appeal. I'm normal. Non-threatening. I just talk to people.
But couldn't we should talk to them about this idea. I mean, it's a good idea, don't you think?
Of course it's a good idea. Better than you think it is, I guess.
What do you mean?
I mean that the key to getting people to talk to each other has nothing to do with the issues. We're always going to disagree on those. It's who we are, and you can't ask a person to change who they are. No, you have to get them to talk about what they care about. And everybody cares about their fellow human beings and their safety.
I'm not so sure about that. Seems like most of the conservatives I know would just as soon shoot me with one of their dozen guns as look at me.
And we all think you love killing babies.
What do you mean? Oh, everybody, calm down. Chester, you can't really think that, can you?
How many guns do you think I own?
I don't know. You might own 10 and you might not own any. That's the thing. I don't know. And I think when people don't know, they get nervous and they have to fall back on what they've been told to know.
You're right. That's what we do. And I don't really think that you want to kill babies. But it's a lot easier to vilify you by saying it that way than it is to find out what you really care about.
Which is a woman's right to make the decision for herself without having to run her entire life by some old white man, or even one old white man.
And that's why I'm not your guy.
Well, I'm confused. Why is that and why you're not our guy?
Because all I know are the issues. It's what I have in my bag of tricks as I stand there on that corner and talk to people. I just don't have the skill set to talk to people about an issue that isn't contentious. I wouldn't know where to start.
But you've got the context. That's what we need. Someone who's already made inroads with the community that hates us. We have a common goal. If we can just keep the other crap out of the spotlight.
And who knows, maybe some of the walls break down when we're working to solve a problem that we both agree needs solving.
Now you're just talking crazy.
Whoa. One step at a time. We're not trying to solve all the problems of the political world. We just want politicians to be safe while they talk about their message. Right?
It is a good goal.
There! See? We can agree on that. It's a step forward.
Okay, then tell me how you think I can help.
Lights fade as they begin to discuss the plan. Scene 6. The apartment has been turned into a well-oiled office machine. The two desks facing each other stage left, and two desks facing each other stage right. One larger desk upstage center facing the audience. Marty and Janice sit opposite of each other stage left. Both of them are on the phone in muted conversations. Tammy sits at the stage right desk, typing a letter to Uncle Harpo.
Dear Uncle Harpo, we're 6 weeks into this little adventure, and I think we're actually doing some good. We've got our friends Marty and Janice involved, and that conservative fellow I told you about. He drops in every once in a while to news from the streets and leads on people from his side of the aisle who might be willing to help behind the scenes. John is a whirlwind. I haven't seen him this passionate about something since January 6th. If you ever wanted to make the drive up to Memphis, we'd be happy to have an extra set of hands. The work is getting to be a bit more than the four of us can handle. And of course, I'd love to see you just to see you.
John enters with the day's mail in hand. It's quite a stack.
Gotta go. John's way.
Look at this. Easily. 6 more candidates. 6 more contacts from candidates around the district looking for protection. And 2 of these, I don't even recognize. It looks like they might be from, yep. This is from Jean Cooper. She's running for comptroller in Rockland County. That's 3 districts away. And what, 200 miles? How in the world are we going to cover that?
John, there's no way we could go statewide. Not the four of us making all the calls and writing all the letters.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Marty, special commendation qualification for having a friend in the encryption business. I wouldn't have had a clue about that, and I feel pretty safe knowing that our emails are protected and, for the most part, untraceable.
Never let it be said that the grunts of the operation can't be useful.
You guys are far more than grunts. We'd never be able to do any of this without you.
Damn it! Still no request from any Republicans. We're 6 weeks into this, and nothing from the other side.
If we don't start seeing requests for them, this is gonna start looking very partisan.
To who?
Don't you mean to who?
Yes, wise ass. To whom? I think we're still flying under the radar.
Oh, John, don't be naive. We've sent mailings to every candidate in the district from both sides. Do you really think none of them are glad?
Obviously, somebody did if we're getting requests from the 17th district. And I can't imagine that'll be the last one we'll get.
Not even close. This one's from Buffalo. That's the, 26th district? 100 miles away. And this one,
He stops dead in his tracks and pauses for a bit longer than is normal. Then, in an attempt to cover up what he's just seen,
this one is nothing. Just another ad for Cialis. Marty, how many times have I told you to stop having the mail sent to you?
It has come to our attention that you and several of your associates have instituted a program of protection for political candidates. While this is a noble and generous undertaking, we would like to consult with you concerning this program. Pursuant to Section 427 of the New York State Election Protection Act, we will be visiting you within the next 72 hours. Please be prepared to share your business plan, mission statement, and financial records at that time. Signed? Not signed. No letterhead, nothing.
Shit.
That's the second notice. We got one 2 days ago. I figured it was just a prank or someone trying to scare us.
Well, that fucking did it.
Listen, Marty.
No. Not signed, be prepared to, they even use the word pursuant. Oh man, these assholes are not messing around.
Well, so what are you gonna do? Run? We knew we were gonna draw attention sooner or later, but we're not doing anything illegal.
Do you think these assholes carry about legal or illegal? These are the guys who carry baseball bats and tire irons. These are the fucking guys who attacked Harold Major. You know, he died last week, right? He said he wasn't going to be kept down by these attacks, and then he planned to stay in the race. And then he died. Just like that. No, I'm not ready to lay down my life for this. It was fun while it lasted, and yeah, it felt good to be doing something worthwhile instead of greeting at Walmart. But I don't think it's worth it. I just don't think it's fucking worth it.
he stops, looks around at the other three. By this time, he has gathered his things and is at the front door. The others, including Janice, look at him with disbelief. They never imagined he would be the first to crack.
Janice?
I think it is worth it, Marty. Besides, what are they really gonna do to us? We're just sending out a few letters, a few emails, but there's really nothing wrong about what we're doing.
And it's okay, Janice. I don't want to ask anybody to do anything that they're not comfortable with which they're not comfortable. Hey, thanks for everything, Marty. No hard feelings.
Thanks, John.
There's a loud banging at the door, violent and persistent. Everyone turns towards the door. Blackout. End of Act 1. Act 2. Scene 1. Lights up on Harpo in the living room, on the phone. He speaks with a bit of an old world Middle Eastern accent, and he genuinely looks like Harpo Mars, or at least the hair. The room is a mess. Chairs overturned, computers smashed, curtains torn down, etc.
No, you are not listening. I just got here. The house has been ransacked and they're nowhere to be found. No, I tried their cell phones, both of them. No answer. Tammy always answers. 2 days ago, yes, I talked to her about a project that they were working on and needed some help with. She emails me every morning, but I didn't get anything from her yesterday or today. Both of their cars are still in the driveway. I think something is very wrong. No, I live in Memphis. I came up to surprise them. Yes, certainly. I'll come down right away. I'm on my way. What's the address?
As he gets to the door, it opens. Tammy and John come in looking pretty worked over. Torn clothes, bruises, etc.
Oh my God! What? No, they just walked in. Thank you. I'll let you know if we need anything else. Yes, thank you. Where the hell have you been?
Oh my God! Uncle Harpo! What are you doing here?
I came to help. I like the idea, but what the hell happened to you two?
You're not gonna believe this.
I'm pretty sure I ever will. In fact, let me guess. There was a knock at the door, and 2 big burly men with implied weapons told you in no uncertain terms that you were coming with them. Being the pacifist that you are, you agreed. Believe me, I've been playing the scenario over and over in my head since I got here. Same thing happened to my friend Giorgio when he decided he was going to try an independent bid against the longtime Republican mayor of this town. He's still got the scars.
Oh my God.
So whatever happened to you two over the last couple of days will not surprise me in the least. What you're trying to do is going to piss a lot of people off. Certain people anyway.
Yeah, we found that out the hard way. I'm afraid we dragged Marty and Janice into it as well. I think he's got a broken rib.
So, who were they?
No idea. They blindfolded us, so we don't even know where they took us. I tried to do that thing that you see on cop shows where you try to pick out clues based on the sounds and smells, but nothing. They locked us in a cage, didn't feed us, took us out once in a while to convince us by beating the shit out of us that what we were doing was not acceptable.
It wasn't reasonable. It wasn't a discussion. They were just thugs. Fucking thugs. I knew we were doing something that was a little dangerous, but I never imagined that this kind of thing actually happened. It was like a goddamn episode of Law and Order.
So what do we do now? I mean, I'm fine with getting hauled away to jail for a night or two for protesting or something like that, but these guys sure as hell didn't play by any rules. The threats were real. No cops, no press. If we continue with the work in any way, they'll kill us. Just like fucking Harold Major.
I saw that. The fellow who was running against Green. They said it was a heart attack the day he got home from the hospital.
It was them.
You're sure?
They told us.
They told you?
Yeah, outright admitted it.
So you got that then?
Oh, well, what are we gonna do with that? The cops have already called it a heart attack. They're not looking for more work.
Or worse, they're in on it. You know the cops always lean right anyway.
So you're going to quit? Give up on something this important? Just because you got beat up a little?
That is not fair. It wasn't you being manhandled by a bunch of guys in cheap suits. That scared the shit out of me. I'm 64 years old. This body is not built for that. You haven't lived through this.
I haven't? Who do you think Giorgio's campaign manager was? I've got scars too. Sounds like you got off easy. The guys who attacked us had knives.
So, what did you do afterwards? Did Giorgio run? Did he win? Is he the mayor now?
No, he's not. He didn't. He ran like a sniveling little mouse. I was ready to stand up to them. It's the help we needed to fight back. But he was a coward. He disappeared. I never saw him again. Never heard from him. If I saw him today, I'd spit in his face for being such a coward.
Uncle Harpo.
Now, the only way to look at yourself in the mirror every morning is to hold your beliefs close to your heart the night before. If you can't do that, then any integrity you may have had floats away in your dreams. We stand up. Your grandfather stood up to the Nazis. Your father stood up in Korea. They had it easy. Their enemies were foreign to them, with jackboots and strange customs. Your enemies live next door, down the street. You can't let them take over. For the sake of all your fathers and your grandfathers, you can't let them win.
Uncle Harpo, come over for a second.
I'm all right. I'm all right. Just know that the fight for the soul of this country lies with you now. Your fathers are no longer here to fight for you, protect you. When you see that something is wrong, you have to set it right. No one else will.
But Uncle Harpo.
No excuses. You find a way.
John and Tammy look at each other, facing this dilemma as the lights fade. Scene 2. A street corner, downstage right. Chester Street corner. He sits on the ground, leaning against a lamppost. He has been beaten. Bruises are obvious on his face. John enters.
No, stay away from me. I can't have anything to do with you.
Chester, what happened?
What do you mean, what happened? Same thing that happened to you, only 2 rooms away. I heard your screaming, and your wife. I'm surprised she's still alive the way she was screaming. She is still alive, yes?
Yes. She's fine, pretty banged up, but still kicking.
Then go away. I never should have gotten involved in this. You hear me? I never should have gotten involved in all this. It was a mistake.
Listen, Chester, I know he got beaten pretty badly, but I'm not sure we're done.
Well, I am. I'm done with all this. I just want to stand on my corner and let people know about the issues from a nice, safe, conservative point of view.
Don't you feel an obligation to speak truth to power? Don't you feel that some things are worth getting beaten for?
No! If I'm dead, how do I fight back? Not that I want to fight back. I'm perfectly content not fighting back. I'm done with it. Done with you.
But Chester, we can't do this without you.
Do what? I don't even know what you're talking about, you deranged idiot. Now here, take your flyer and go.
As he hands the paper to John, he opens it briefly to reveal something folded inside.
I don't want to see you hanging around me anymore. Get out!
All right. Okay. I thought we could count on you. But clearly, you're more loyal to somebody else. Bye, Chester.
Lights shift to a cafe table down left. Tammy and Janice are seated having a drink. Janice also displays signs of being beaten.
Mark's at home with 3 broken ribs. My left foot hasn't stopped throbbing. You pick up where we left off? Are you fucking out of your mind? I'm done. Tammy, I can't imagine why you're not.
Because some things are more important than the bruises and the
Why
breaks.
can't you say that? What could be more important than staying safe in our old age?
Making sure that our kids are safe. Don't you think that that's a little more important?
Tammy, you don't even have kids.
But you do! Isn't Julie about to have a second? Well, I suppose the government forced her to have that child when they knew that it was going to die a few days later. Or worse yet, what if your granddaughter, she's 12, right?
Yes.
What if she got raped and they made her give birth? At 12! That's what we're talking about. What if we continue down this path? Do you like to be involved in politics and vote? Do you like to be able to see your son and his partner? His gay partner? Did you like being able to get your birth control covered? That's what we're talking about. I know I don't have any kids. I'm willing to take that risk for your kids. Are you honestly telling me that you're not?
Well, what if it's all hyperbole? What if it's just blown out of proportion for the effect of it all? To get the base riled up and drooling.
They've written it down. It's online. It's there for everyone to see. It's not a joke. It's real. Kids, when someone tells you who they are, and they tell you over and over and over, shows you with their actions, writes it down for the world to see, won't you believe them? You have to believe them.
Chester's in.
What?
Chester's in. He got picked up and beaten just like us. He was in the same place with the same people. I never expected him to stick with it.
I figured he'd be the first one to go.
Me too.
He put up a big show when I confronted him. But before I walked away, he gave me this.
I will not let the bastards get me down. This is too important to just look the other way. I was iffy about the whole thing before, but since the beatings and the attempt to intimidate us into silence, I feel more energized and committed. We're supposed to leave the world a better place than we found it. We're not doing so great a job at that. I'm willing to stick my neck out to change that. Watch for my next no.
Unbelievable.
I know, right? I guess he's a real fighter, just like Harpo.
Harpo? You mean your uncle?
Yeah, that's why I called you in the first place. He's incredible. I've always admired him, but he's more devoted to this thing than we were at the beginning. He drove all the way up here from Memphis. He wants to help.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I mean, why would he be so passionate about our cause, in our city, so far from his home? I guess I just don't understand that kind of self-sacrifice. Maybe it's not in me.
I think it is. But if it isn't, that's okay, because you do have a dog in this fight. You have children and grandchildren. You need to be protected from this idiocy. That's why you're going to stick with us.
I am?
Yes. I've known you long enough to see the passion welling up in your eyes, and you're going to convince Marty too.
3 broken ribs, Tammy.
Oh, he'll get over it. You're not doing this without it. And you're doing it. Logical, right?
That's my girl. You want me to talk to Marty? Or do you want to talk to Marty? You want me to do it?
I'll take a crack at it first, but don't be surprised if I call you in for backup.
I'll be waiting by the phone.
Lights fade. Scene 3. In the living room. Marty on the couch, nursing his ribs. John is pacing back and forth with a laptop, reading aloud to Marty.
One department after another. Education, agriculture, USAID for God's sake. They want to nix aid to starving children. How do you do that?
I know, John.
And they just want to give more and more power to one man, like a king. Isn't that what we got away from all those years ago?
John, I've read
And women! The only acceptable family unit is one where the man works, the woman stays home, and takes care of the children. I'm surprised they don't mention a dog in the picket fences requirements. Forget about women making any choices for themselves. Hubby will be in charge of everything.
You have a problem with that?
Of course I have a problem with that. What are you saying?
Oh, there, brother. I was just kidding. Relax.
Sorry, I get a little carried away.
I'll stay. You gotta be able to keep a little bit of your sense of humor about this, or you'll walk into the woods and shoot yourself.
Yeah, you're right. I know. Still.
Easy, John. I'm still in.
You are? But Janet said that.
Janice wasn't as passionate as you are. I swear you stand up for her rights better than she does. So tell me again, how is our little project going to change things? I mean, the big things.
I can't. I mean, you and I can't. We're too small. We're not going to bring back food stamps, Medicaid. We're not going to prevent them from shuttering Noah. Noah, for God's sake! They want to shut down the weatherman because they don't like what he's saying about climate change? We're not going to bring back free preschool, prevent them from shutting down and imprisoning anyone involved in producing and distributing porn. What? You heard that right? They want to throw porn stars in jail. Never mind, the Supreme Court said time and time again it's protected by free speech. I guess getting sued by one will really sour you on the whole thing.
So what the hell are we doing?
Oh, we're doing what we can. We can't change any of those things on our own, but we can protect the people who can make those changes. The only way the other side is assured of a win is by using the goon squads that just beat the shit out of us. We don't have any goon squads, and if we did, we wouldn't use them. We're too nice. We have a conscience. So we have to do it this way. Use the right channels. Get our guys in so they can make the changes we need to see. The changes that bring us back to some semblance of sanity.
Tell me again, why can't we use goon squads?
Oh, cute.
Well, I'm serious. Whatever happened to the idea of fighting fire with fire?
Well, apart from the ridiculous notion that you can actually fight fire with fire, physically impossible, you would just feed the existing fire with your fire. Just imagine what the world would be like if we subscribed to that idea.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a fairly selfish guy, right?
Guilty.
Now, where do you think that kind of world would leave guys like you and me? Guys without any real power of mind.
Out in the cold, I suppose.
Damn right. Out in the cold. If it's a dog-eat-dog world, we'd be the ones wearing milk-bone underwear.
I suppose that's true.
And that's before we start talking about people with even less power than we have. Even older. You can imagine that. The sick, handicapped, the women, the children, all the power would be concentrated with a few rich, mostly white, mostly men. Fair?
Hard.
Then no more talk about fighting fire with fire.
Tammy and Janice enter through the front door with grocery bags.
Agreed. How are we supposed to continue without getting ourselves killed?
That's a question we were just talking about. Our big mistake was thinking that we could do it by ourselves. We need numbers. Big numbers. You know what they say, safety in numbers.
Sure, yeah, big numbers. How are we going to organize something like that when they're watching us even closer now? I'm afraid to take a piss for someone popping out of the toilet.
That lovely image aside, I'm glad you asked. Janice?
Taking out a note from her purse.
Well, Chester's been busy. I know you guys are busy trying to figure out what's next. I figured you wouldn't quit just because you got roughed up a little, although I would imagine you had to double team M to get him on board. M's for you, Marty. I think he wants to avoid using any real names just in case. You'll notice that I managed to slip note to Jay with no trouble at all, I'm in a perfect position to be the go-between for any communication you might want to pass around. I'm always here on the corner. I've always been here on the corner. No suspicion. So, whatever you come up with, I'm here to help. See. I go to the store at least twice a week, and so does Tammy. We'll just stagger our shopping trips and so that we can check in with Chester at least 5 times a week.
It's a start. But we don't have anything to communicate to anyone, not yet.
Tell me more about this resistance. Where do these big numbers come from?
It's kind of a group effort. Shopkeepers, housewives, even children. Everyone playing a small part. No leaders to catch. No head of the serpent to cut off. And if someone does get caught, they don't know anything. They couldn't give anyone up. They only know their small piece of the puzzle. Eventually, they get the job done. It's all about organization and communication. Hogan's Heroes may have just been a TV show, but they got that part right.
But right now, we are the head of the serpent.
Yeah, so how do we change that? How do we make this a headless serpent?
If you really want to do this, you can't do it from an HP desktop computer on Rockland Avenue. They know who you are and where you are, and they know when you take a piece.
Yeah, we've already covered that.
You have to go underground. If you want to do this, you have to disappear. Then it won't be a headless serpent. It'll just be a serpent with an invisible head. One that can't be easily cut off. But it means walking away from all this. And I don't know how dedicated to this cause you really are. Are you really willing to walk away in order to maybe make a small dent in the mess that we're in? Or not? After all, you could make all the sacrifices in the world and have it make little to no difference at all.
You really know how to sell it, don't you?
Truth is truth. It's the best I can do. I wouldn't want to blow any smoke up that pretty skirt of yours.
Hey, I barely know you.
All right, you two, knock it off. I have a couple
So
of
do
questions.
I.
mean, how long will we have to be gone? Where
Well,
would we
let's
go
just
to our house?
What's the infrastructure?
And most importantly, how are we going to keep ourselves safe?
Slow down. You're about to take a huge step. You don't do it overnight. The 4 of you are going to have to really talk all this over before you decide to upend your lives for the cause. I'm an old man, ready for one more adventure, so I can't do it alone. But from what I hear, this Chester fella is in it too. I'll have to get a message to him to see how we can help each other out. In the meantime, I'll answer all your questions and then you can talk it over. But I have to be clear. In for a penny, in for a pound. The foot soldiers can do this part-time and they'll be a real help. But if you want to be the head of the serpent, you have to be all in. Now, tell me how I can get in touch with Chester.
Lights fade. Scene 4. Marty, Janice are at home, represented by a kitchen table and a couple of chairs.
Can we really do this?
No. I mean, there are people in the world who do this sort of thing. I read about them in the history books and watched their stories on the biography channel. I just never saw myself as one of those people. I mean, did you?
Of course not. I figured at our age we'd just be sitting at home watching TV. Maybe the occasional cruise, old people stuff. It was one thing when we we were just doing office work, sending out emails, making phone calls, but walking away from everything to maybe make a little difference. I don't know, the ROI just doesn't add up.
Yes, it's not the return on investment that bothers me, it's the danger and the sacrifice. I mean, have you thought about the fact that we wouldn't even be able to tell the kids where we were?
Why not?
And put them in danger? They'd be sure to go to the police and tell them we're missing.
So we have to tell them where we're going and what we're gonna do.
And then they get roughed up over by the goons. And what about the grandkids? Now we put them in the line of fire, too. No. This trickles down too much. I don't think I can do it.
Look, I'm not gonna do this without you. But let me point out a few things. First, we've had a pretty good life, yes?
Well, of course. Yeah, I would change anything. Well, not much anyway.
We've been lucky enough to have good jobs that we like. We've been able to pay our bills most of the time. We've been relatively safe living here, yes?
Yes.
And if we're honest with ourselves, we haven't done much to pay back anything for all this, have we?
I did volunteer at the food bank for about a year.
Okay, you're a better person than I am. I get it. Anything else?
Not that I can think of. Damn, we've been pretty selfish, haven't we? I mean, you more than me, but still.
Thanks.
So what does this all mean? How does this affect our decision?
I, for one, feel great about having lived on this planet for 68 years, taken all it's had to offer and never really paid back anything, or made any kind of difference. I don't want to leave the kids or the grandkids with a world that is far worse off than the one I lived in. You?
How is depriving them of their only living grandparents not making the world a better place for them?
Big picture, Janice. Big picture. If we stay, they might have a few laughs with us and get a few more Christmas presents over the next few years before they turn into teenagers and ignore us completely. But if we leave, disappear for however long it takes, we leave them a better world for the rest of their lives. Big picture.
I don't know. Let me think.
Do I really want to jump from teaching to this without even a break? I just retired. Don't I get a chance to enjoy that a little? Not even September. It hasn't even kicked in yet.
I know.
And maybe we'll do some good. Maybe we'll make a difference. No guarantees. I don't know, John. It sounds so iffy.
Agreed.
And what if they do find us? Then what? What? The roughing up is bad enough. I'm afraid we'll go the way of your own nature and end up dead.
All good points. There's no good reason to do this, especially when there's no assurance that what we will do will make even the slightest bit of difference.
God, I hate it when you agree with me.
I know.
Because you really don't, do you?
I'm not even sure you agree with yourself.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Justice. Can you easily refute every one of your points?
Of course I can. That's what makes it a moral dilemma.
So, obviously, you know I can do the same.
Of course.
So, there's no point in me doing it. I'll just say this. Was any revolution in history ever undertaken in which the outcome was known or even predictable?
Of course not.
So, logically, we can't predicate our decision on the perceived outcome. So, let's take that off the table.
Alright, it's off the table.
And has any revolution in history ever been safe or bloodless?
know all.
Has any revolution ever been without risk?
I got your point, John.
Good. So, we can take fear of personal injury off the table.
I suppose.
So what's left?
I don't know, John, what's left.
Is the cause noble?
That's the only question worth answering.
Marty, I'm not that selfless. And neither are you, but let's face it, the only reason we got involved in the first place is because we were bored and wanted to spend time with people other than each other. We've both known that for a long time. Ever since you retired, it's gotten worse and worse. I know why you started working at Walmart. I'm not stupid. And this is just another way to avoid that problem. You might have done just as well taking up golf.
Janice.
And now, you want to risk our lives on something just because you think it's noble? When did noble ever affect your decisions, Marty? When?
Janice.
No, Marty. I'm not going to let you talk me into something just because you're bored. Bored with me. Bored with life. Around the revolution was started by bored husbands.
Lights out. Scene 5. This scene is written in kind of a split screen. Harpo on one side of the stage and Chester on the other. They read the letter while the other voices it. Chester is seen taking a small scrap of paper out of the inside of an old newspaper. He unfolds the paper and begins to read.
I'm not sure they
Understand what they're getting themselves into, and they haven't made a decision yet. Whatever they decide, and I think we'll lose at least one of them, we can't let them do this without ground support. You understand me? H.
Lights change to show Harpo removing a small scrap from a flyer, unfolding it, and reading.
It is perfectly
reasonable to think that the two of us can guide them through this. But we are old men. How effective can we be? I can gather a few recruits, but that's about all I can do without giving myself away. And then I am worthless. See.
Chester, in brighter light, removes a small scrap of paper from the pocket of his jacket. He reads.
No man is worthless
when he has a right on his side, when he fights for justice and does so with passion and honor. You know that as well as I do. At least you do if you're the man I think you are. You must continue making your contacts. Several of your people have been in touch already. They seem righteous and passionate, exactly what we need. I have begun to distribute assignments already, meeting with the 4 tonight to hear their decisions. Wish me luck. H.
Harpo, in brighter light, removes a small scrap of paper from the brim of his hat. He reads.
Very clever placement
of the last note, my friend. I begin to like your style. Glad to hear that the recruits are working out. I just wish they were younger. I feel that the old people I'm sending you will wither once the real work begins. We have little time to protect our ideals, and the attacks are coming with a vengeance. Just yesterday, I watched 2 teenagers tearing down posters, and when confronted, they beat the man until he wept. I'm not sure we can stop the violence, and it's taking on a new life. It's not just aimed at the candidates anymore. I look forward to what the young folks have to say when you meet with them tonight. See.
Lights fade on both of them. Scene 6. Inside the house, Harpo is pacing back and forth, waiting for the others to arrive. Finally, Tammy and John enter from the bedroom. Tammy heads for the couch, looking very preoccupied. John goes immediately to the front window and peers
in the world are you looking for?
There's been a black Escalade parked across the street for the past few days. I've never seen it before. It's got me pretty creeped out.
John, this isn't NCIS. Stop looking for the obvious. It's never where you think it is. Always where you never expect it to be.
Well, how the hell am I supposed to know where that is? I don't even know what I'm looking for, much less what I'm not looking for.
John, the Escalade is Bonnie's. Frank bought it for us as a surprise, but they don't have room for it in the driveway until they sell her other car. Shit. We live in a very entitled neighborhood, don't we?
Of course you do. That's why this decision's so hard. You have a lot. It's easier to be a revolutionary when you've got nothing to give up. Let's get started. Where are Marty and Janice?
Not coming.
Really? Just like that?
I talked to Marty last night. It was just too much for them. What with the kids, the grandkids, not knowing, they just didn't feel like they could take the risk.
I have to admit I'm feeling the same way. We're so comfortable, finally comfortable after years of struggling and living paycheck to paycheck. And now all of a sudden the idea of giving that up just when we're getting the chance to enjoy it seems ridiculous.
Chester tells me that another man got beaten yesterday just for speaking out against a couple of kids tearing down posters. A couple of kids beat a grown man till he cried. In broad daylight, on a busy street. And you know what the people who witnessed the attack did? Nothing. They continued on about their business out of fear or indifference. I'm not sure which is worse, but you two are showing me both. I know that being the man who is beaten looks like a hard life. But which man do you respect more? Who would you rather be?
Still no answer from either of them. The door bursts open, and Marty enters.
Sorry I'm late. I'm in.
What?
Yes, I'm in. I'm tired of being the guy who never stands up. I'm tired of not making a difference, and I fucking hate Walmart.
But you told me.
Yeah, I know what I told you. That was all Janice talking. She's scared, and believe me, I don't blame her. I'm scared shitless to step out on this limb, but how do I live with myself? I don't want to be one of the dead-eyed idiots that ignore everything they see because they're too scared, or worse, just indifferent.
Well, there. That settles that. Now we know which one is worse. Have you been trying out your material on him first?
I swear I never mentioned it to him. He's just very perceptive.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. It's not important. What about Janice?
She's out. Like I said, I don't blame her. There really should be someone there for the grandkids. Besides, I'm going to need a cover story for the kids, and she'll be able to sell that for me.
I guess that makes sense.
So, what about you two? I've arranged a safe house with a friend. A trusted friend from the old days. He's been working on a similar project, and he knows what you've been trying to accomplish. You're not as alone as you might think. We can meet him this afternoon. But only take what you need. One bag, no drinking.
Well, now, hold on. This is all moving a little too fast. I had no
There's
idea.
never a good time to leave everything behind. So it might as well be now.
But I just can't pick up and leave now. About the,
There is nothing holding you here, my dear. I think you know that as well as I do.
John?
Give us a few minutes, will you?
Yes, but only a few. My friend expects us this afternoon, and you'll have a bit of a journey to get there.
I'm all packed, but I better go back home and consolidate. Just one bag is gonna be tricky.
Meet us at this address at 3 o'clock this afternoon. No big goodbye scenes at the door. Understand? Nothing to raise suspicion. You'll have to walk or be dropped off. There will be no place to store your car. Do not let Janice drive you there. Be aware of any prying eyes. If you feel you've been followed, then turn back. We cannot risk putting my friend in danger. And leave your cell phone behind. Understand?
Yes.
Now, let's leave these two alone. But only for a few minutes. The time to decide is now.
Actually, I need to talk to you, Uncle Harpo.
Tammy?
Alone.
Very well. John, would you excuse us? Now, dear, what would you like to talk about?
Uncle Harpo, I guess I don't understand what makes you so passionate about all this. I mean, I'm feeling a lot of pressure to live up to your expectations. I never heard you and Dad ever talking about anything like this before, but you seem to know all about it. Why?
My dear, your father was much older than I am. 20 years, in fact. No one will ever say it, but I'm fairly certain that your grandparents didn't really plan on me.
I always had the feeling that I was a bit of a surprise, too.
It must run in the family. In any case, your father was a brilliant man, as I'm sure you know. He graduated university before I was even born, got his teaching degree 3 years later, and left for the States. I was a year old when he left. I never knew him until I came here. I met him on the same day I met you, on that windy day at the train station. You remember?
I'll never forget. I was 14 and you were like a god, this mythical character out of family lore. Oh, and the hair. Uncle Harpo, your hair was definitely a creation from the movies.
Yes, the Marx brothers. They were all the rage when I was born. Although I never met another Harpo, or Groucho, or Chico, or Gummo for that matter. My parents named me that. They said that they were everywhere, but you couldn't prove it by me. So Harpo I became. I rather like it, and it makes for a good story, doesn't it?
I'll say. You can't imagine how many of my friends know you, or at least know there was another person in the world named Harpo.
Ramana. But we stray from your question, don't we?
We do. But I'm really enjoying this, too. You've never told me anything about your past.
And I still haven't, have I?
Not really. So, let me ask it again then. Why are you so committed to this project? Why is it so important to you? It feels like you're making up for some horrible wrong. Is that it? Is this about Giorgio and his failed campaign?
No, of course not. Also, come to think about it, his campaign was the start of my, shall we say, renewed interest in this type of activism.
Renewed?
My dear, do you understand the term militia rule?
I suppose it's when a country is taken over by a group who's not the government.
You're close. In Lebanon, there were many groups all vying for power at the beginning of the war. I'm sure you've heard of the PLO. They get all the press, but there were dozens of other groups all fighting to take the country in their particular direction. I was 20 years old, and had no interest in which direction the country went. I simply wanted to be safe and to live my life. I had already begun to make plans to come to America, find my brother, and become rich and successful. Then they killed your grandparents. And when I say they, I genuinely don't know which faction it was. I was that uninvolved, that uninterested. They killed them right in front of me. I don't know why. I heard no explanation. I was hiding. I was hiding from them. I watched as they slit their throats, and I said nothing. I did nothing. I was terrified, and I was shaking, and I was ashamed. And I can still smell the sweat of the soldiers, taste the bile rising up in my throat. Even in that moment, I knew that I would become someone else, transform myself into a different person, someone who could not only care about what was going on around me, but someone who could affect change. I left that night. My parents were gone and I could do nothing about that. And so I left them for the state to bury. And I went underground. I disappeared. I became an agent for change. So yes, my dear, I do have a bit of experience when it comes to disrupting the authorities and protecting the innocent.
Dad never said a word about any of this. Why wouldn't
He
he?
didn't know.
But you never.
I did some really horrible things. Things that still keep me up at night. When I came to the States, I was eager to put that life behind me. Besides, I was used to keeping secrets, used to burying my feelings under a mountain of guilt and shame. I told no one. By the time I was ready to talk about it, your father was gone. I regret to this day not being able to tell him. But I'm thrilled to be able to pick up the mantle once more and fight for change. And we are lucky. The thugs who do the dirty work of political parties these days operate in the shadows for the most part. They don't break down your door and kill your parents in front of you. At least they're a bit more subtle. So, my dear, have I answered your question?
I suppose you have. Then some. It must have been very difficult to see. Thank you.
Think nothing of it. Over the years, I've learned that we must be able to do the hard things if we're going to get anywhere. That was a hard thing, yes. But I felt safe sharing it with you, and it was necessary. Thank you for asking the question.
I do have one more.
I thought you might. They were lovely people, both of them. Devout to a fault. I suspect that's what got them killed. But truly lovely people. I wish you could have known them.
How did you know?
That you'd ask about them? It's the first thing I do. Your grandfather was a woodworker, a real artist, even though he was making cabinets most of the time and not great sculptures. And your grandmother stayed home, as most women did back then, and an absolute master in the kitchen. I still have the taste of her tabbouleh in my mouth. It never fades. It's a real blessing.
We never had any Lebanese food when I was growing up. But Dad wanted to be American, and so we ate it, slept it, worked and dreamt it. It was what he called a requirement for the privilege of being a citizen. He avoided politics like the plague, but I think he might have been a Republican.
Bite your tongue, Gearan. So have I helped make your decision?
I think you have. I mean, you survived it, and I'm much more clever than you.
Here and now.
Oh, and the election is only a few months away, so we're really only looking at a short-term commitment.
If you wanted
And
to
Johnny
be, I
will be there, and
suppose.
you, it could feel like a mini vacation.
Now, dear, I wouldn't get your hopes up
Okay,
about
maybe like
that.
a camping vacation.
Tammy, you understand none of that is true.
Of course we do. But if I can hold on to that, maybe I won't be so scared.
Be a fool not to be scared. What we're doing is dangerous. You've already seen that.
I know. And let me have this little fantasy. Let me romanticize this just a little. I'll feel noble and brave. Instead of frightened and small.
Very well. We all need our little fantasies, don't we?
That we do, Uncle Harpo. That we do.
Now go hurry your husband along. I'll see what's keeping Marty.
Harpo goes to the front door and opens it, just as Marty's about to enter.
I'm all set. One bag was almost impossible, but
A series of shots ring out, and Marty falls to the floor. His back is covered in blood. He's dead.
Get down!
What the hell was that?
You idiot!
Is that?
They are all perfectly still. The only thing we hear is the breathing of each of them. Frightened, angry, yet determined breathing. The lights slowly fade on the scene. Scene 7. There is a loud clanking sound of a large electrical light switch being thrown. 5 individual spotlights come on, revealing, in this order from stage right to stage left, Chester, Tammy, Harpo, John, and Janice. All are blindfolded. All are seated in chairs with their hands bound behind them. All sitting facing exactly forward. Each time a light goes on or off, it is accompanied by a sound. All lights go up, except Tammy's.
I'm its teacher. That's all. I just wanted to make a difference. I'm sorry.
A difference in what?
I don't know. I don't know.
Light out. Light up on John.
What about you? What kind of difference did you want to make? We just wanted to make the political process a little safer for the candidates, that's all. The process is safe. It has never been safer. Can you say that for me? Say what? The process is safe. It has never been safer. But it's not safe. Candidates are being attacked, even killed. The process is safe. It has never been safer. Repeat.
Light coming up on Janice.
The process is safe. It has never been safer. Just do it.
No, that's ridiculous. I won't.
There is the sound of an electric shock. John goes stiff in his chair until the sound subsides. Will come back to you. Light out on John, but remains up on Janice. Now you.
Yes.
Was your husband a good man?
Yes. Of course he was.
Really? Then where is he now?
He's gone. You killed him.
And why did we kill him?
Because he thought he knew better than you. He thought he could fix a system that wasn't broken. Please let me go.
So was he a good man? Was he a good man?
No, he doubted the system, and only bad men doubt the system. Please, no more.
And what do we say about the system?
The system is safe. It has never been safer.
Again.
The system is safe. It has never been safer.
Again.
The system is safe. It has never been safer.
There. You see how easy that is? Light out on a broken Janice. Now you, light up on Chester. You've been fighting the system for a long time. Why?
It's corrupt. Look at what you're doing. Do you think we can't see how sick this is?
Electric shock sound, and Chester goes rigid until it stops.
What you're doing is sick. How can you expect to...
Another electric shock.
If you think that I'm going to...
Another shock. Chester collapses completely. We'll come back to you as well. Light up on Tammy. What about you? You've had time to think. What do you have to say about the system? Well?
I can't say it. Please don't make me say it. It's a lie. It's a
An
lie.
electric shock for Tammy. She screams till it's over and then collapses. Her light goes out. Light up on Harpo. I guess that leaves you. Harpo, is it? A ridiculous name.
Go to hell.
Oh, a fighter. We don't know you, do we? Memphis, is it? And what do you think of our system?
Your system is shit.
Short electric shock. Harpo stiffens. The system is safe. It has never been safer. Repeat.
The system is shit, and it's always been shit, and until you...
A longer electric shock. You must soften your tone with us, Harpo. Do not speak in such a...
This system is shit, and it's always been shit.
We warn you, if you continue...
This system is shit, it's always been shit. We've started something that you will never overcome. We're everywhere. You'll never find us all. The system is shit, and it's always been shit. You will never win. Your system is shit, and it's
A
always...
shot rings out, and Harpo slumps in his chair, dead.
Uncle Harpo. Uncle Harpo.
The system is safe. It has never been safer. Repeat. The system is safe. It has never been safer. Repeat. Do you all want to die like your pitiful Uncle Harpo? The system is safe. It has never been safer. Repeat.
The system is safe. It has never been safer.
Good.
The system is safe. It has never been safer.
Excellent. You see how easy it is. We just want you understand.
This is safe. It is never been safe.
Oh, funny. I thought you would be the last to join in. It's your turn, Chester. It's easy. It's safe.
It's never been safer.
That's it. You see how easy it is.
System safe. It has never been safer. System is safe. It has never been safer. System is safe. It has never been safer.
They repeat the phrase as the lights black out, accompanied by the electric sound played at the start of the scene. End of play. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gearan Center. I'm a representative of the Geneva Theater Guild, and I'd like to facilitate a little talk back this evening. You can ask questions of Steve, you can ask questions of the cast. I'm just going to open things up. It will take about 15, 20 minutes. Does anyone have any questions for Steve or the cast?
It's a lot to digest right off the top of our heads, to be quite frank with you.
I can get the ball rolling. Steve,
Yeah.
how did this play come to be?
How did it come to be? It's a really interesting question, and I know I told you to ask it. But I probably should have thought about it a little bit. Well, the when certainly was sometime around this time last year, before the election. And as I've said in all of the press, the play was predictive. I would write something on Tuesday and it would show up in the news on Thursday. And it was frightening, and I thought I was causing everything. But seriously, I needed to respond. As a playwright, I felt like I had a voice. I had the ability to reach people in a certain way. Everybody does what they can, and this was fairly safe for me to write a play and maybe put it in a drawer. But as soon as we read it, as I said in the program, the very first thing that the cast said to me was, "My God, Steve, you can't do this. It's too dangerous." And the second thing they said was, "You have to do this. It's too important." And so we took that tack. We brought Geneva Theater Guild in. We read the play for them, and they agreed to sponsor this staged reading, just so that we could get it out into the world a little bit. I have several companies around the country who have it in their hands now and express interest. Those things don't happen quickly. But I wrote the play because I felt like I had something to say, I had a voice that I didn't want to waste.
Have you written anything else with a political bent?
No, never. I mean, and thank God, because this was a tough write. This was, I didn't know where it was going. I never know where my plays are going. And so, I'm not one of those playwrights that outlines everything out and then just lets it, writes it. These characters spoke to me and I just wrote it down. And that can be frightening when you don't know where it's going, but you have an idea of where you want it to go, and it's not going that way. So it really is a fascinating process. But no, most of my plays are serious to a certain extent, with some funny, and some of them are just funny. But this is the only one that is this dark. This is about as dark as I ever want to get.
Very serious.
Yeah.
So, given recent events, is there anything that you would change for the final edit?
I feel like I can continue to write this play over and over again.
Yes.
Project 2025 was out when I was writing this, and so it was easy to go to that for source material and say, this is what they're gonna do, so I may as well use it because it's probably gonna happen. But certainly, as I listened to it, and as we rehearsed it the last few days, there are so many things that I could add in that would make it so much worse, that would make the impetus for them to do something even greater, because it's now affecting everybody.
I don't know if this is good or bad, but I have trouble with transition from Act 1 to Act 2, as if it took years between Act 1 and Act 2 to occur, because the situation that Joanne and her husband in the play portrayed seemed a little bit settled, and then all of a sudden we're introduced to things that they should be aware of that's happening, that, that are outrageous, but yet not reacting to it. It was too large a jump for me between Act 1 and Act 2.
It certainly is a big change.
Yeah.
Act 1 lulls you into a false sense of security.
Well, that's what I said. I don't know if this is good or bad, because, I'm sitting here going, right on love, am I really lulled right now? So that was between Act 1 and Act 2, there was this disconnect for me. It's all through Act 2, I'm trying to go, how do I glue this back in? So, just to let you know.
It's a good observation.
I have a question about the project of protecting political candidates. So I think at the very beginning, that's the project. And I was curious to know what sort of level of political candidate. Is it state senators and up? Or like big city mayors, or is it just candidates for political office? What was your initial intent there?
I guess my initial thought was more local candidates, but that's in the state senator range.
But not like county coroner kind of thing. But
Well, as far as I know, most
anywhere where
county coroners don't.
okay, so so when you get into Act 2, how in your mind has that project begun to expand? Is that still the main focus, or is it now this is a general kind of resistance that they're starting to lead and orient?
Yeah, I think it is ambiguous, and I think the project, as it progresses throughout the play, kind of morphs and changes, especially when Harpo introduces his friend who is, in the underground, and that the project is probably no longer protecting individual candidates by the end of the play.
They do bring it up, but that's not the sole thing.
I think it becomes something much bigger at that moment when they
Going underground.
Yeah, when they go underground, and they may or may not be the bosses once they get there.
Trying to think of how to say this. I feel profoundly affected by it. It's really, parts of it were terrifying, parts of it, you think you're a certain type of person, you wonder if when the screws are put there, that kind of stuff. But as an actor, I always like to ask the actors this. What did you take away from it having been there? Not take away from it so much as how, in what ways, if any, and this is open to anyone who wants to answer, did it impact you having to be in it and be one of the characters?
I mean, I have none. And one of the things, it's frightening, because if I had to make a choice like that, I don't know that I could. I'm comfortable, just like it says in the script, and grandchildren and all that stuff, so but at the same time I'm thinking, wow, but that's a huge responsibility I think that as individuals and citizens, it's a responsibility, you know, who are we to say, not my problem? So that's been really a struggle for me, because at this point, there's things that need to get done anyway. The other question that I have, and I actually was gonna ask everybody, is what we think the production of this, what purpose would it serve? To what end? It, you know, obviously it's a play, so it's entertainment, and it's feels, it has all the feels, but what could come from it? What could happen if these people that have shown interest in it actually produce it, and it's being produced? What does that do to the state of our world that we're in now? Can it?
It's
Or
always,
is it just a statement of what we're feeling?
it is my hope that if it ever does get produced in a larger way, that it will do exactly what we're doing here, that it will start a discussion. I don't know if it changes minds, but it does start a discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, it's important. It's really important. I loved that. I can't think of a question, but I loved that level of not naming names, anonymity, I suppose you would say, and coloring events and stuff with a very broad brush, not being real specific about relating it to individuals and stuff. But also it was so powerful about, yes, lulling us into a state of comfort and hope, but that knock on the door is a slap in the face, really. And I think it's so important how it portrays. I think it's really important that it be played everywhere. That it shows in a very understandable and relatable way how things can unfold, just in a very regular people would be unsuspecting, as the main characters were here, would be unsuspecting of the horrors that could be, and yet, and that could be related to one's own life.
To respond to Peter's question and to kind of dovetail with what has just been said, I've been politically aware all my life. I've been politically active more so since January 6th than ever before. I would hope that if this gets produced widely, even just in a few places, that it motivates people to become involved in ways that they're not involved now, to be more active in terms of their expression, more active in terms of their participation. That's what I would hope to come from. And that has certainly done it for me.
One of the phrases that I had in my head as I wrote this play, it never made it into the play, but the phrase was, "Gun to their head would a devout Christian denounce God." We're asking these people to do almost something as difficult. My wife has a question.
I do have a question.
She's taking notes.
I'm taking notes for her.
Get him, Cindy.
But my question is, you have billed this as a political thriller, and you and I have had this discussion a lot. I don't consider this a thriller. So I'm going to ask the audience, would you consider this a thriller, or would you consider this some other type of genre?
Some other, but give us some.
Yes.
Consider it a thriller because it seems too real, like things that were happening.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, it defied categorization for me, and so I made one up.
Yeah.
But I agree that it's probably not the right category.
Right.
I thought the term cautionary tale.
But it's something more than that. It's in it.
I think it shows what could happen in our country, and quite possibly is happening. It's already happening in Russia, North Korea, China, and I'm afraid that our country is getting into the same problem. Assassination of the people we don't want, that our government doesn't like.
Well, in fact, as I listened to it today, I heard Harpo saying at least they're a little bit more subtle these days. Well, I wrote that before black bags were being put over people's heads on the street.
It's very interesting because this evening, I can watch snippets of the news. Snippets. And I happened to catch another one of a protest, and I think it was with the immigrants, I'm not exactly sure, but the ICE individuals. All right, what's going on when, this is when it hit me, because the end of your show, I have a lot of mixed emotions with, but we're in a place now where the guys who are coming to grab, quote unquote, the criminals are all wearing masks.
Yeah.
So that they cannot be identified, and that has the earmarks of everything that's not what I thought my country was about. And that to me made it a little bit easier for me personally to swallow the end of your show. All right? Because I saw so much 1984 in it. And no, that's not a rat. Yes, it is a rat. No, it's not a rat. Yes, it is a rat. And I found that like a bridge a bit too far for me to jump. Because it scares the crap out of me.
I think the chilling part, one of the very chilling parts about it is the people you're up against, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the rise of the Third Reich, Hitler had this freaking guy who would have died for him, and he had this great group that followed him and this and that. And when Hitler finally went to the German army said, we got to get rid of this guy. And Hitler, they went in and they said, here's a gun, kill yourself. And he says, I'm not going to do it. So some of the SS guys went in. It was like he's one of his best friends. So you're up against people who, one last thing I'd like to say is, I think if this is done more and more, it might actually make people feel safer because you're not alone and people aren't afraid to say stuff about it. And
I think that
That's
is a
good
really
point.
good observation, the fact that I don't know if we can get desensitized to the terror, but I think that feeling of not being alone, of having that kind of comfort,
Absolutely.
I think that is a help.
because there's other things that time to speak up.
Going to the protest is part of what we do now. Right.
It makes you feel better knowing that many more people feel the way you do.
The
Yeah,
thing
one more
about doing it more, I'm getting a general feeling we're kind of all on the same page in here. If we did this more and word got out that this was a play that leaned a certain way, I wonder how different the discussion in this room might be.
That's why, people said immediately to me, this is too dangerous. And when we read it for Geneva Theater Guild, the first question was, are you gonna have security?
And that's something to actually, it's something to actually, think about.
Something to consider. And now, I wasn't worried about security because, this was a one-off. If we were doing this for 2 weekends, I'd worry about that second weekend. I really would. All right, how's our time, Justin?
I'd say we got about 5 more minutes.
Okay, any other? Yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering, since Justin was the only, let's say, right-wing person, if you could develop more of I didn't get the full feel for his character.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew where everybody stood pretty much. And I knew what you were trying to go with, but maybe he could have more of a say about his points.
Yeah, he should.
One of my actors said, what do we do if someone interrupts the play and starts yelling? Yeah, I mean, that was a genuine concern.
My suggestion is we give Chester a gun.
Well, on that note, Sandy,
At first, with Chester, I was wondering for a while whether he was blinded. Because I thought, can he really be trusted? I wasn't too sure at first. Yeah.
interesting, yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I meant that.
Yeah, I know. All right, folks, in the last couple minutes before we wrap up, I have one last question that I'd like to pose to the audience as a whole. Is theater the right vehicle for political commentary?
Yes.
Sure is. Why not? Absolutely.
Oh, I guess we got that settled. That's right. Well, I think that's, I really do appreciate that question. I wrote it. But, go ahead. Oh.
You have some.
Yeah, I feel so much passion around me with this. What are you guys doing? What are you doing with your political? What are you writing? Are you carrying a sign out here down by the visitor center when the events happen?
Every time.
And
every place.
And more and more people are doing that. We've been to a few of the protests, and I'm always surprised at the number of people. We have a tendency to go to Ovid. There are hundreds of people, and more people at the protest than live in Ovid. You know, I've been really quite impressed.
That's
by.
why I also says there's paid protesters.
That's right, all those paid protesters. I didn't have a nickel.
Isn't there another one coming up this week?
I'm sure there's one.
I think it's the 16th or the 17th. It's
So,
sort of,
we're gonna do it tomorrow night?
make good trouble.
Yeah, make good trouble.
Tomorrow night there's a rally on 5/20 at the visitor center.
There it is?
On the 17th.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I want to I haven't thanked this group of actors yet. And they gave up their time, they rehearsed at my house in a tiny little space, so this great big stage was really a luxury. And they did wonderful work and they were very committed, so give them